Hello everybody, it is Dan Lags, and I am back again for episode number 91 of Constructing Los Angeles. And we are back today, guys, in the city. Last episode we were working on this bus stop here, and I actually changed out the glass for ice just to see what it looks like. I'm not really a huge fan of that, so I think I'm just going to turn it back to glass later. But anyway, guys, we're back for episode 91. Hopefully you guys had a good weekend, and if you're watching this on like a Friday, I hope you had a good weekend like 4 days ago. You know, YouTube time inception, everything like that. So we're back for 91, 91, the age of Papa Lags, and we're all ready to go here. So we got this building, right? Not the prettiest building in the world, it's kind of like a ugly looking building right now. But what this is going to be is, this is going to be Los Angeles Customs. That's what it's going to be. We're going to make a mod shop, kind of like GTA, Los Angeles Customs, Los Angeles Customs. So, of course, I already put the garage in and everything like that. And we got some street lights. We got some parking spots, kind of like a little, whatever you want to call this, just a parking area, whatever, parking lot. I couldn't think of that. And, I put the street lights around. I actually have sandstone here on this layer just to break up the gray. There's a lot of gray in this texture pack, so... because most of the blocks that I really like cobblestone, stone bricks, and like regular stone, they're all gray looking blocks, kind of ugly. And it's annoying because blocks like bricks and sandstone and like the woods are blocks that I used to use all the time, but I don't use them in this texture pack because they're just so darn ugly, who would want to use any of these 4 blocks right here were blocks I used all the time in previous texture packs, and they are just... ugh, they are poo-poo in my pants. The one I can tolerate is sandstone, so that's why I did it, just to kind of break up the gray. Because as you can see over here, I had it as stone brick, so it was just gray to the max over here. So I changed that up. So now it's sandstone. I'll do it all the way around later. But anyway, this is going to be our Los Angeles Customs, our mod shop for our cars and stuff like that. So I am going to come inside here, and we're going to do a little bit of interior for this episode. So I can break the custom sign, since I definitely know what this is at this point. I don't think I need to try to figure out what it is anymore. So I'm going to get out some blocks that we're going to use. Let's see here. So I need some anvils, definitely. I need some slabs. I need some... let's see, what else could I use? Some pistons, I think, would be pretty good. Those have those yeah. Exactly, they got the little design on them there, like the little caution tape or whatever. What else could we need? Let's think about this. I guess some swiftness would be good. Just trying to think of anything off the top of my head that would have anything to do with what we are doing. How about some cobblestone walls, if I can find those? Here they are. Okay, and then let's go with some string, and we'll start with that. So, and also, let's get out one more thing. Let's get out some gray carpet. Okay, so first off, we're gonna go ahead and place some bricks here, and that is gonna be kind of like a tool closet or whatever. Just like a cabinet for tools, I guess. And then right here, I'm gonna place a table, and this is gonna be just a standard table where the dude chills, and where you walk in and he's like, well, what did you do to it now, or something like that. Alright, so we got that. Let's put another one of these here. So just another shed of tools. I would put item frames or whatever on it, but I don't think I'm going to do that since they look kind of ugly in this texture pack, like a lot of things. So I'm going to put some tripwire hooks here instead as kind of the cabinets, I guess, opening up. And you know what I could do also, just to mix it up, I could do something along the lines of maybe one of them is indeed opening or something like that. Where am I looking for here? Brick slabs. Here we go. So something like that. One of them is opening. So we could do that. That looks okay. Alright, so what else do we need? I guess over here we'll figure that out later. I might just put a bunch of parked cars or extra tires over there somewhere. So what we need now is... actually, you know what I'm going to do? I have an idea. I'm going to go ahead and turn this area over here into the lift, where we can where people... oh crap, I forgot. This is all terraformed. We got the terraformed wasteland of Los Angeles, so I'm going to have to account for that. Let's go ahead and get out some stone real quick. Alright, so let's go ahead and just take this down to there. Pop ourselves back up. Fill that in. Break all that. And we got ourselves the lining right there. That's good. And then I guess we'll jump 2 spots maybe. I'm not sure if I should do 2 or 1. Usually cars are only one, so yeah, I guess I'll just go like here. And then what I'll show you guys what I'm going to do in a second. So let me just fill this in real quick. Come back out here. Alright, so we're going to put some anvils here. And these are just kind of lining up. So the idea is that this is going to be like one of the tracks that the car pulls up onto. And, you know, you kind of, you know, it'll lift it up and, you know, you can get the car fixed from the inside and stuff like that. So that's what that's going to be. Let me go ahead and put some caution tape in between these now. So like kind of have like a space, like don't cross this line or you're going to be bumping into another car, which is not cool. So something like that, right? Some caution tape. I was thinking about doing that for the train station, but I'm not a huge fan of this like color. It's kind of weird, but it, you know, it works for something like this because it doesn't have to be pretty inside here. So let's see. Let's put another one right there and another one right here. So the difference with this one is going to be we're going to actually have this one in action. We're going to have this one lifting something. So we're going to build a car on top of it. Might build like a muscle car or something. Who knows? We'll build some sort of car. We'll put a ton of cars in here. I'll even put some cars out in the parking lot and stuff like that. Alright, so let's see. For this one, we're going to go ahead and place some cobblestone walls. Well, first off, let's place these here just for like the buffer, I guess, or whatever. Actually, you know what? Let's not place these. Changed my mind. Let's take this up a few blocks here. I would say to like that. And then we're going to place anvils on top like this. And then we're going to place some string like this going across here. And then we're going to place the anvils on top of the string. And then, oops, dropped one of the anvils. Nope, did it again. There we go. Oh, that's why there was an extra string block there. It's throwing me off. Okay, there we go. So we have like one of them kind of being lifted up. So now we can just drop a car right on top of that and we're good to go. So we'll do that in a little bit. But that's good. I like that. Let me put let's do another caution line on this side. Whoops. Oh, that's kind of an interesting looking block there when you put the piston sideways. I don't really experiment with these kind of blocks very often because they're kind of like NU when it comes to blocks. So I don't really use them very much. Let's see, right here. I'm going to place these in here like that. Okay, cool. So we have our, you know, our caution lines. We got our spots where we can, you know, I guess fix up our cars. So now we got to put some shelving on this wall and stuff like that. By the way, the roofing is going to be coming up through here. So this right here is going to be where the ceiling's going to be. And of course I'm going to add some like funky designs in the ceiling. I might cut the video in a little bit and do that. Like, you know, fill in the ceiling and then add some designs to it. And then, you know, put some lighting that comes down. So I might do that in a second. Okay, so we got our little like shelving area. We got our customizing area or whatever. We need to put some stuff here. I was thinking about putting like a big LD like in the floor as kind of like a print in the floor. I think that'd be pretty cool. Over here is going to be a like a little like working office space for like the people who work here. So that's what that's gonna be. But for now, guys, I'm gonna cut the video and I'm going to fill in the ceiling here. I'm gonna add some light to it and then just kind of make it look industrial. And I'll come back to you guys in a second, so don't go anywhere. Okay, everybody, I'm back, and I went ahead and put in some ceiling designs. Just kind of put some random iron blocks and some cobblestone walls kind of connecting to each other. Just look like ceiling vents and things like that. I also added some glowstone lighting and things like that, just to, you know, add some light to the place. But as you can see, really, it's still pretty dark in here, so I'm gonna actually have to add some more natural light in here, since, you know, regular light in this game just doesn't really match up to like what it could be. Like, it just doesn't light up a room enough. So I'm gonna add some more natural light to this place. Gonna have to you know, make a little bit of a sacrifice for this, but that's okay. Let me come outside right here. So one of my favorite parts about this building is kind of like the little cobblestone, or sorry, the cyan wool little lining there. I like that. I think that adds just a little bit of color to the place. But I think I might have to get rid of it on this side. Maybe even the whole thing I might have to get rid of. And obviously I'm going to have to get rid of these slabs as well, since, you know, that is going to cause a problem. So I'm going to get rid of all these. That's, you know, you can't, the slabs will still block the light. So, yeah, I'm going to have to do this. Unfortunately, I didn't really want to have to do this, but I figured it might be a problem with just lighting up the place. I mean, I could put some like lighting in the floors, you know, like underneath carpet or something like that. But, you know, where am I going to put carpet inside of a you know, a mod shop? So, you know, I'm just going to get rid of this and turn it into glass just to see how it looks, and then just see how much light it does emit. And you know, if it's not like a huge amount of difference, then I'll change it back, and then, you know, I'll add some, you know, whatever. I'll just, you know, put some flooring, carpet, or something like that, and just to try to get some natural light in here because it's pretty dark. So, all right, let's go ahead and place this stone back like this. Make sure the mounted controller's not on. I don't want to break any unnecessary blocks here. All right, so I'm just going to turn this whole thing going all the way around back into glass, and then we'll go from there. So let's go ahead and just do this real quick. There's a room right here that we're approaching, like right here. This whole empty space in here. This is going to be like a kind of a side room, kind of an apartment entrance. So this building, you know, it's fairly short, so I'm gonna extend it and make it taller, and, you know, add some apartments above it. So that way, kind of like the first floor is like the mod shop, and then, like, you know, right here, this opening, this will be like a staircase or an elevator that leads up to the apartment area of the building. You know, I have this on another building as well. That building off in the distance over there, it's kind of like faded a little bit, but that building is apartments, and then there's like a restaurant on the first floor. So that is, you know, the idea with that. So let's go ahead and continue this glass going all the way around. I also wanted to show you guys, you know, some of the things that I did to the, you know, the area. I've just been planning out some things, you know, since, you know, last few episodes. I've, you know, kind of got a pretty good base idea of what I want to do with the rest of the city, what the rest of the area that I have on, you know, this seed. Pretty much everything. Oh, the whole seed I kind of have planned out at this point, so that's good. You know, kind of have like a vision of what I want. And who knows what'll happen, you know, if I'm ever able to extend the size of the world. Who knows what I'll be able to do. But for now, I'm just strictly sticking to what I have, which is, you know, the seed that I have. So let's go back on the inside here, and let's see how much more light is in here. Yeah, as I thought, you know, it doesn't really help a whole lot. It's still pretty dark in here. So I actually am going to have to add some... I'll leave that since, you know, it does add a little bit of light, but I actually am going to have to add some carpet or something like that just to make it lighter in here, because it is just, it's a really big room, and it is dark as hell in here. So we're going to have to solve this problem. But first off, let's go ahead and sleep real quick. And I actually want to do one more thing real quick before we sleep. I figured since, you know, we got rid of that cyan wool that I like, I thought, you know, the least we can do, let's just do a lining of cayenne carpet, or cyan, however you pronounce it. I'm pretty sure it's cyan, whatever, though. It doesn't really matter. Just do some cyan carpet going all the way around. You know, just to add that color, just because, you know, we kind of lost it, so we're just trying to add it back just a little bit. I think it's a fair trade-off for, you know, for adding some light, but like you guys saw, it didn't really add a whole lot. We'll see what it looks like in the very early morning, but I'm pretty sure, you know, it's going to be, you know, not much of a change, so... There we go. I mean, that adds a little bit, so that's fine. Let's go ahead and sleep real quick, and we'll continue onward with this. So let's go ahead and do that. All right. Okay, so now let's go back inside. Let's just see how bright it looks like in like the early morning. You know, it gets even darker on YouTube, so it's probably really dark for you guys, you know, who are not watching it from my angle. So, you know, it's a little bit brighter before, you know, you put it on YouTube. I thought, you know, the least we can do is just add some glowstone here underneath of the anvils, just, you know, because we can, I guess. I mean, it's the least we can do, so let's do that. What is going on here? Okay, that's like one. Okay, I got it. Okay, there we go. And then we'll close that up right there. So that just adds a little bit of light to that area. The anvils, they do shine through the anvils, which is good. We can do this over here as well, so let's do that. Whoops, I don't want to break any of the carpet. Let me go down through the middle here. That'll be a little bit better. Right there, and then we got to turn all these blocks here into glowstone. Alright, so, it's definitely difficult trying to light, you know, big, hollow rooms like this. I got to add some more things to it. I mean, obviously, I didn't finish the glowstone lighting in the ceiling. I didn't have it go everywhere. You know, I kind of just did it in like this area. I got really bored of it, so I'll do the rest of it later over here. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna add a car on that later, but that's good for now. You know, this whole space here is still up for debate on what we're gonna do with that. I might add some sort of big. Actually, you know, it might look weird. Could give it a try. Let's just see how it looks. I guess we can use lime green. What does lime green look like in this texture pack? Not too bad. We'll use it. Let's see. And then we need this, and then we need some, what else? I guess gray or yeah, we'll use light gray carpet. Okay, so here's the plan. I'm gonna put a perimeter of light gray carpet going from like right here to here. What, right here? Nope. Yeah. Okay. Yes. And then like here maybe. Let's see. We gotta put it like equal distant. So like here. Actually, that might not work either. How about this? And then right there. Nope, right there. Alright, cool. Actually, you know what? Let's move this up a little bit. Let's put it to like here. And to like here. I know you guys are probably like, what the hell is he doing right now? But I'll show you. Let me just fill in this perimeter. So I'm going to try to put like a little print in the floor. I mean, I'm using carpet because I want to put glowstone underneath. Oh, you know what? I should put the glowstone underneath first. You know, let's just see how it looks, and then I'll just add some glowstone in like a couple spots. That way, you know, you can still see what I'm doing, but I'll come back in later and just do the rest of it, you know. So let me just fill this in real quick. I mean, it doesn't have to be. It's not going to be symmetrical because the whole thing's going to get filled in, but you know, just to get the idea, I'm just going to put a little bit right now. All right. So like this. Whoops. And here and there. Okay, so I have a little bit of glowstone. So now let's go ahead and do this. Okay, I'm gonna put a yellow L. It's going down. Actually, you know what? Let's put the L here instead, and let's go ahead and do this. All right, the L is gonna. Oh nope, that's not right. Let's take it down a little bit. It's gonna have to be kind of like a condensed LD. Okay, so there's our L. So how much is that covering? Pretty decent amount. And now let's add the D. So if it goes one block away from like here. All right, so like there. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So that's 6. It's gonna be a little bit uneven. You know what? Or we could just do that. And we could also just do this. Extend this down one further. There we go. The L looks a little bit bigger now. That works. All right, let's just give it our best shot here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So take this down through here, and this is gonna go all the way to the bottom. And this will go there. Nope. Yes. Okay. Cool. And here, I'm gonna fill this in with the D. So you got the LD. Looks kind of terrible. It's so hard to make D's, you know? What if I did this? Does that look better? It's just such a pain in the butt trying to make a D. Huh, that doesn't look good. I mean, there's nothing I can do, really. It's just with the space I have. Nah, I don't like it. I don't like it. We're scrapping this. This is not a good idea. This is just not simply not a good idea. We're scrapping this whole idea. This is all going down the toilet. Alright, you know what I'm going to do real quick, guys? I'm going to cut the video. I'm going to get rid of this. And then I'm going to find a better way to light it. So, guys, don't go anywhere. Okay, guys, I'm back. I just went ahead and got rid of that, you know, debacle right there. I added some bushes. Might be a little bit too fancy, some George bushes, but I don't know. It just adds a little bit of color to the room, so I'm going to keep that. All right, so what I've decided, right, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of span the place with cars. I think that's the plan. So I'm going to put a car, you know, like on top of this thing. I'm going to put a car like right here. I'm gonna put like 2 cars there, 2 cars underneath of that, or in between like that, and then maybe even one more over here. Just add a whole bunch of cars, because that's what this place is for, right? Just for cars. So we can't just not have any cars in here. Just fill the space. We're gonna do that. I have another idea as well. So here we go. Let's go ahead and let's try this before we close today's video. Close up shop, no pun intended. So I'm just gonna fill this in real quick with some stone, and then we'll go from there. Actually, you know what? Instead of wasting a step, let's go ahead and add the cobblestone now. Get some T-Swiftness potions out. Nope, don't need to drink it twice. Not necessary. Okay, so let's go ahead and get rid of this. Alright. Hey, there's my back. Sorry, my controller's broken. It occasionally likes to just randomly, you know, put me into like F5 mode if you're, you know, PC Minecraft. So yeah. Let's see. So I'm gonna fill this in to like, I would say maybe like here is fair. It doesn't have to be like insanely tall. And then of course I'll just like take this across through here. All this is gonna get filled in with the stone. Lots of stone, but you know, it's a good looking block. We can use it. Alright, so we're going to fill this all in, kind of right to the lining of the sandstone. And this is going to be our little office, right, for our, you know, the owners of this Los Angeles Customs. I'm going to have to put a sign out front instead also that says Los Angeles Customs. You know, the idea is that, you know, I'll show you guys in a second, but I'll show you guys the plans. I just need to do that. But first, let's finish this real quick. Let's just add this just real quick. Okay, so there. Well, what I want to do is I want to put like some sort of like catwalk up there somewhere. That'll kind of like wrap around a little bit. Just to put a catwalk, but I'm gonna do that, you know, later. But for now, let's go ahead and just, you know, let's go ahead and fix this up. So we need to get out some. I figured, you know, I might as well just continue the glass kind of running through here, because, you know, that seems like a good idea, right? Just to continue that theme. That way I don't have to like make some awkward shape on the outside. So the glass will kind of continue through there, and that's gonna be our office space. I'm gonna put a you know, stone brick stair upside down, and then a door. We're gonna place this here, and then right here we can actually just extend this glass right here through there, just to add a little bit of a window there. I think that's fair. Okay, so we're in here, right? This is gonna be our office space. So I'm gonna add like a couch in here, a lounging space, maybe a refrigerator, a desk, all that stuff. We're gonna add all that in here. So that's kind of the plan for that. And then later, what I'm going to do is put a staircase up on, probably on actually this wall here. And I'm going to make a catwalk that's on top of this. That way there's kind of like an awning over top of potentially parking some cars in that space. So kind of got the whole thing planned out. You know, still more work to be done. I'm going to try to get as much done on this as possible in between episodes, guys. And then I'm going to come back to you guys and just show you the finished product of this. I'm going to light it better. I promise that. And then we'll work on something else next episode. But let's go ahead and come outside real quick. I want to give you guys the big plans. The schmans. Okay, let me sleep real quick as well so you guys can get the idea. Alright, so let's go ahead and show you guys around. So what my plan is, right? You know, this building is going to be here, and it's going to be fairly tall. I would say slightly taller than the hospital. Speaking of the hospital, this is going to be the other wing of the hospital, so I have this marked off, hospital. So this whole red space here is going to be, you know, kind of the other wing of the hospital, hence the bridge that runs over the road. So the hospital is going to be pretty big. It's going to be a fairly large hospital, but, you know, we need that. We need a big hospital. Over here, this space, I kind of meshed this into one big, like, you know, rectangle. This is going to be a museum. So once you have, like, the museum in and, you know, the hospital wing, this area of this plot, I guess, is going to be making a lot of sense. It's going to look pretty good, I think. So that's cool. And then over here is Los Angeles Plaza, which, you know, eventually I'm going to work on this. It's going to be a while because I need to plan out other things. But this is going to be the plaza, LD Plaza. I showed this last episode. We got the coffee. This is going to be like a little Starbucks. Basically, all of these buildings are going to have like a commercial use for the first floor. And then, you know, just like office buildings or apartment buildings above them. So let's see. We got the restaurant here. We're going to have a coffee shop right there. We're going to have a office building there. Over here, I think we have more shops, I believe. So, yeah, I put a shop sign, and then, like, all three of those plots are going to be shops. Those are going to be little townhouse apartment complex-looking things right there. What else? Oh, yeah, this plot over here is going to be an Outback Steakhouse because that's my favorite restaurant. Here we go, Outback Steakhouse. That's what that's going to be. So we got pretty much a pretty good plan of what I need to build for the city. The question is having the time to build it all. So, one day, guys, this is going to be done. It's going to look schmexy. So, let's see. What else do I need to do before we close out the video? I think that's pretty much it. I'm going to have to find a place to put, like, parking for... I guess, you know, parking along the streets is pretty much what you do in normal cities anyway. But I'm going to find, like, another, like, area where I can, like, make, like, a parking garage or something like that. Because right now there's only one in the city, and there's going to have to be multiple of them. So, anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. It has been Dangeles. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Got a little bit of, you know, ideas for a customs shop or whatever, a car mod shop. I'm going to keep working on it, and I'm going to add, you know, the tower above it eventually. So, guys, thanks for watching. If you guys could give this video a like, that would be awesome. I would appreciate it. And subscribe if you're new, all that stuff. And it has been Dangeles, and I will talk to you guys on the next episode. But until then, guys, have a good day, and peace out.